Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. Yeah, what to say? I'm not qualified to speak on Bhagavatam. It's a huge, elevated topic for me since I'm still struggling with my rounds and so many things. But I've given this service, so just try to fulfill whatever I learned, whatever I heard from senior devotees, whatever I read, whatever I realized. So, uh, seeking forgiveness if I make any mistakes, so please forgive me. And just to mention that I have a note here that I'm gonna use in presentation if it is needed. Uh, so this is one point. And yeah, seeking your blessings. Those who are watching this video from the other side, please give me your blessings so that I can speak, so that I can serve devotees and Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So before we begin, uh, the topic is, as we can see, like the life of materialistic person. Teachings. This is taken from teachings of Lord Kapila, and this topic comes under the section where, in the third canto, of course, the where Mother Devahuti asks that seven different questions about life and different phases of life about Maya and so many things. So in that section, this phase come. This section, the life of materialistic person comes there. So Mother Devahuti asks main seven questions, and out of the seven question goes like this. So first question was like, can you please dispel my illusion? Second question was, what type of bhakti we should do to attain your lotus feet? Third question was, can you please explain the process of jnana? Fourth question was, can you please explain the procedure of yoga and their different limbs? And then she says, what type of bhakti? No, the question is like, can you please explain about bhakti in detail? And then sixth question, she asked that, can you explain what's the nature of time, how times function in this world? And the last question she asked about like, what is the procedure of birth and death? So in last section, in last seven question, by Kapil Dev gonna ask this question of the Devahuti. And in this phase, in this section, Lord Kapila mentioned everything about human life, like how do we exist in this world. It begins with the life of a materialistic person, how they suffer in this world, what's their old age, how do they gonna die after death, where they gonna go based on kala and karma, and then how do they suffer in the embryo, mother's womb. So entire embryology is given, and then when he comes out, what's the pain and what the situation in that period. So this is how Lord Kapila explained everything about human life, and this is really beautiful, beautiful section, really relevant, really practical. That's why I chose this uh, question, chose this topic so that we can like make more relatable and make more practical and more tangible Bhagavatam to the people, so that people can see the value and they can understand the importance of scripture. So this was the reason behind choosing this topic, and this is where we are. So I gave some context, and when I read this section first time, from chapter number 25th to end of the 33, chapter number 33 of third canto. And I realized this, the life of materialistic person comes in the 30 chapter, and chapter number 30 and verse number from 1 to 18. And in this 1 to 18 chapters, they explain like really vividly what's the different situations that materialistic person goes through. And in that section, I found interesting thing is uh, I've read the section and I took an overview, like what's the main point, uh, what's the essence of this session, what's the essence of this topic. And I realized there were four. It's my realization there were like four main topic. So first one was time, second one was illusion, third one was consciousness, and the last one was on retirement. So in this today's presentation, we're gonna talk about these four topics, and at the end of presentation, we're gonna see the whole life overview, life of materialistic person. So this is what we're gonna do today, and begin with the time. Okay, there you go. So it's an interesting story about timing. Is whenever I hear about time, uh, I always think like how people manage their time. Either they are in the spiritual life or they are in the materialistic life. So I realized that materialistic person are like really expert in terms of managing time because they are living their life like a sheep, just like following, just like blind dress, or you can say red dress. So they are like really expert. The same time, spiritualists are also like with them. They are like sometimes they even higher. Like say for example, Goswamis, Prabhupada. So like can't compare. We can't compare. I remember Kolangana Mataji, her grace Kolangana Mataji. She's very famous in terms of making sweets, Mangal sweet for Krishna in the morning. And when she was leaving her body, and some devotee asked, Mother, what do you feel now, right now? What's the situation in your mind going on? Don't you feel that death is too close? And she replied really beautifully. She said that, no, I'm not fearful of death because I know in my life I've never spent even a moment. I've never spent my time. I've always given my time to Krishna. So that's why I'm not fearful. So this was quite powerful answer. And if I meditate on this, so it brings so many things out of from my life, that how unknowingly sometimes we also, I'm speaking for myself, that like unknowingly wasting time. I found that in my life, in my realization that unknowingly we just keep wasting time, and our realization was on the like top level. So this is where we can see how spiritualists invest their time in their daily services, in their daily sadhana, and various things. Regarding time, Chanakya says like really beautifully, Ayushya kshana eko bhi na labhya suvarna koti bhi. That means Ayushya, time. Once you spend it, you can never get back. Even though you use like suvarna koti bhi, koti means like hundred thousands and gold coins. So even if you give like hundred and thousands of gold coins, you cannot buy time. So this is a value of time, but materialistic people, they don't understand this, and they waste their time majorly in this day and age, especially in age of AI or high tech. So people usually waste their time in the four places, major four places. So further we'll see the data and researches. So first one, they work so hard, unknowingly or knowingly. People work so hard. There was a one famous businessman these days recently. He gave quite controversial statement about the timing. He said like everyone should work around 70 hours. And not only that, he said like I'm also working. And even worse thing is many businessmen supported his statement. And this like these statements of like really so-called successful material mongers, they become like a fire on social media, and everyone was like against it because it's not like practical thing, like working 70 hours. That's too much. We don't need it in our life. But that's why materialistic people don't know, and they keep they wasting time. So this is first work. Second, they waste their time in sleeping. Prabhupada says in the purport somewhere, not in this section, I'm not sure, but somewhere says Prabhupada that materialistic spend their time, the daytime, especially in the economic development, and night time they spend in the sex life. So this is where they spend their time. Third one is the social media. Nowadays, we have one disease uh, called selfitis, that people take so much selfie, and in their mind, they create certain type of insecurity. that if I don't look good or if my physical structure is not good, then I'm not gonna fit in the society. I'm not gonna fit in the social media. So that's why they keep taking their photos, and because of so many reasons, they go addicted to it. And ultimately they have to go through some psychological doctor or some medical treatment. So this is the height of wasting time and not knowing the reality. And last one is, as we know, like household life. So many things to say on household life that people unknowingly or don't know, without a reason, they just waste their time with their children or maybe with their wife, or buying things that which they don't use it, trying to impress people which they don't like it. So this is where they spend their time. And the another analogy is given in this section, that how wind carries cloud, in the same way time carries materialistic person. Carries means consume their life. So this is like powerful analogy, like the wind, it carries like whole big cloud though looks massive, but still wind can carry easily. And the similarly, time also eat up whole life of materialistic person. So this is the analogy is given. And yeah, I was talking about this survey. Excuse me. So here we can see this survey is from 2009 and 16, and reference is given below here. And this survey shows like how people waste their time. So here we can easily see most of the time people are wasting major three section. I can take my video. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So this is where people waste their time majorly. First of all, work. Second one is on sleep. And third one, so last three section here begin with the TV and radio, and then seeing friends and other leisure. So these three are like leisure activity. Leisure means, in they say like leisure, but this is like indirectly or directly, this is killing time or wasting time, because in that section they are not doing anything significant in their life which they're gonna help them about the inner life, about the spirituality, about their Krishna consciousness. So this is where paid work or volunteer work. Second one is on sleeping, as we can see here, like almost 8 hours. That's like insane. Prabhupada said like we should sleep like at least around 6 hours. But here we can see like average is like 8 hours, and that's too much. And same with the leisure. It's like more than 2 hours every day. So imagine like these people somehow or other start reading Bhagavatam every day, 2 hours. So we can bring a huge change in society, in the world. So this is, here we can see this is how people wasting their time. And next one is, okay, sorry. Yeah. So this is about time. Okay, sorry. This was about time. And next one is about illusion. There is a very beautiful verse about illusion in the Chatushloki. Rutirtham yad pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidyadatmano maya yatha bhaso yatha tamaha. So this is Maya. Krishna says, whatever is not connected to me, and it seems that this thing, this object, this item, or this person has some value. And if you think that, then that is illusion, that is Maya. So that is clear-cut definition given in Bhagavatam and the Chatushloki, which are the seed verses of Bhagavatam. And in this section, we can see about time, about the illusion. So there are four things comes up. So out of them, first one is like total seven attachments. We're gonna talk about the attachment. Then we're gonna talk about two phases. King Indra, we can see here, and the last one we're gonna talk about magic industry. So, oops, sorry. So seven attachment is given that Atma Jaya Suta Agar Pashu Dravida Bandhushu. So all these seven attachment keeps one person an illusion all the time. So Atma means our body. Jaya means our wife. We are attached to our wife. We are attached to our body. Atma Jaya. Suta, kids, children. Suta Agara. Agar means our home. Pashu. Pashu means animal. These days we don't have animal, but we can compare animals to our vehicle. That we are like so much concerned about our vehicle. Atma Jaya Suta Agar Pashu Dravida. Dravida means wealth, money. So everyone under the sun, whatever amount of people living here on the earth, everyone has some attachment with the wealth, with the money. Suta Agara Pashu Dravida Bandhushu. Bandhushu means relatives. Though they know that these people cannot save me from the death, but because people are under illusion, they cannot see the reality and they start wasting their life for people that who gonna not help them in their most difficult time, which is death. So this is how everyone is under illusion, and this, as Bhagavad Gita mentioned, that this illusion is the energy of Krishna, Maya. So this is about seven attachment, and then after that seven attachment, in the Prabhupada mentions about two phases of this illusion. As we know, Prakshepatmika Shakti and Avaranatmika Shakti. So Prakshepatmika Shakti means that one pulls down, in Maya, in the difficult zone. So first difficulty was seven attachments, like people are completely attached to their things, and then comes with these two different phases of Maya, and one in which one keeps us down, pull us down, and the second one is Avaranatmika. That means that covers our actual vision, our spiritual vision. That Bhagavad Gita mentioned that Pandita Samadarshina. So Pandit or learned or scholar person is who can see the life, who can see the people, who can see the things around as it is, as clear. But because we are under this illusion, double-sided illusion, two phases of illusion, we cannot see the reality. Here we can mention the story of Indra, that also Prabhupada mentioned in their purport that how Indra took a birth as a pig, and he was lying around with his family in the muddy area and drainage, and eating stool with his family. And in that time, Lord Brahma came to see him. And Brahma was like really concerned about Indra, that why you are like suffering here. Then Brahma starts saying that you should come with me. This is not your place. And then this pig, in the soul was in Indra's soul. So this pig says that, no, I can't come. I have family here. I have responsibility. You don't see this? So just see, my family is here. So how can I come? So this is how happened. This is what happened in our life. Even though Krishna comes to us and say that, okay, next half an hour, we're going to go from this world. So we are covered to that degree. We start convincing Krishna, if Krishna comes, fortunately. So we start convincing Krishna that, Krishna, please give me some time. I have this work. I have this. I need to sort out this thing in my life. I need to finish this business. I just need to fulfill my some duties, and then I'll come to you. So this is our nature. This is how we are illusioned. So Prabhupada mentioned this story of King Indra, but if we like try to think on practical level, on our personal experiential level, that we can see that we are also pretty similar like Indra. At least I'm not sure about we, but I can say about me that still so much attachment, or like very little or very subtle attachment we hold in this world. So that's why even Krishna comes, we say, okay, Krishna, I'll come, definitely I'll come with you. I'm not saying no, but I'll come later. I'll come later. So this is our illusion. So that things that we can't see. And even we can go for more deeper level, how media, music, movie, all this kind of noise illusionized people, how they bewilder people. So really famous example is magic. The whole magic industry, I was watching video on YouTube that magician was explaining. So magic is nothing but it's just like movement of your hands or your senses, and how to control people's energy and how to put them in illusion. So that's like beautiful video on YouTube. I didn't put a link here, but that's a video where magician shows this his entire trick, and then after that part, he shows how he did it. What was the picture or what was the scene behind the camera? So there was like completely just based on some finger movements and just how to like, like hold attention here, people's attention here, do something here. And this is how they pose themselves, that how great they are or how big things they can do in this world. So this is whole thing. This is like one example, but there could be like any thousands of example. Let's say for example, um, let's say buying a phone. So they are saying like, yeah, you need to buy this phone, like, like 1,500 pound you have to pay for this thing. And people are like paying it without knowing like proper use of phone, without knowing use of all the features. And because of all this thing, everything happened because people in this material world are illusion. People of this world, they are under the illusion. The other day, we were having a class here in the every Monday we have Prabhupada's class here. Prabhupada gives Bhagavatam class, so I was hearing that class, and Prabhupada mentioning that whoever's born in this world, everybody is rascal here in this world. So this was quite a heavy statement for like those who don't know Prabhupada, and they might get offended. But that's the reality. And we have to tell people that no, this is not life, this is not real life. So we are under illusion. So this is how we can see about illusion. Really famous, as we know, Einstein, he said about illusion that reality is merely an illusion, though it's very persistent. So this is quite famous Einstein about illusion. Next, we'll see consciousness. Uh, yeah. So consciousness. Before we begin, so this consciousness has so many varieties to talk about because everything in this world is based on consciousness, on or the different on from the other way we can say on mentality or mindset. So that's why even here we can see like Prabhupada said that Krishna consciousness, and he gives like really beautiful analogies that how we can replace everything. It's like we can replace our normal food with the prasadam. We can replace our mundane song with the Krishna's kirtan. We can replace our so-called dance in pub with the dance for Lord Krishna in the temple room. So this is how consciousness, but just by changing consciousness, we can come out of that materialistic zone, and one can become a really good devotee of Krishna. So here, uh, sorry, here analogy and Proverbs, Bhagavad Gita as well, and Raghunath Goswami's example. So first of all, we see like how Gruhamedis are like Gruhamedis. In other words, how materialistic people like materialistic people. So that's the verse I would like to share here, uh, which is SB 2, sorry, 21, yeah. So here this verse says, this is about the life of materialistic person, those person who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society or emperor or prediction. So here in this section, we see Prabhupada like really elucidly mention about life of Gruhamedi. So this section begins with here. Yeah, I hope it's coming in the recording. So yeah, uh, but again, I'm gonna read it so that even if it doesn't come in the recording. So yeah, so Prabhupada writes here, the word Medhi indicates jealousy of others. The Graha Medhis, being interested in family affairs only, are certainly envious of others. Really true, really practical, and up to the point. Therefore, one Grihmedi is not on good terms with another Grihmedi. And in the extended form, one community, society, or nation is it not good terms with another counterpart of selfish interest. In the age of Kali, all the householders are jealous of one another because they are blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth. So this section we can put in the illusion as well. At the same time, we can put in the section of consciousness, that because it mentions about envy. And as we know, like there are six anartha: pride, ego, envy, madness, illusion. So out of them, this is one, and which is envy. And it says like one person envies another. And Prabhupada, in this 3 or 4 line, Prabhupada mentioned different level, that how, on what level people use their envy, what level people are envious. So it begins with the extended form. Haribol, sorry. So here Prabhupada mentioned that extended form. So begin with the form. Form means our near one and dear one. You can say like family member. Second one is goes up to the community, our societal level, then society. And then fourth one is on national level. One country is envious of other countries. Because of this reason, they create conspiracy, maybe in terms of commodities or business or economic development, whatever it is there. But because people, even on the national level, those who are like leaders, they are like envious of other leaders. That's why everything has been created in this world. Say, for example, war, climate change, and so many subtle problems like mental health. So it's also like kind of these things it's coming from. So here we can see like how this thing is practical. Uh, the other day, one person came here to visit this place, and he was asking like why there is so much climatic problems, climatic change. And I asked, what do you think about it? And he says, because of so many animals. And I say, it doesn't make any sense. How animal, because Krishna has created everyone, and Krishna has provided like all the necessary food. Even Prabhupada many times mentioned that those elephants or wildly creatures staying in the forest, they are probably more than human being. But Krishna is providing all food there, all types of food, whatever they need, Krishna is providing them. So why not to us? But the point was that that person was not wrong. The wrong was his research, his knowledge. He was not aware about spiritual stuff, spiritual life. So that's why people sometimes come to the wrong conclusion if they don't know anything. And because of this reason, they may become envious to others that, oh yeah, these animals is like always like this, because of this we have this problem in this world. Oh yeah, this country, oh yeah, this society is bad. So this is how envy works on different level. So yeah, we can say so much about on envy, but this is the purpose, this is the principle, that the life of Brahmadis, they are like envious of others. And next one is Bengali proverb. Prabhupada mentioned that as we talk about like materialistic person, that the materialistic person works so much for their family. Even up to that point, we'll see further in this presentation. Even up to that point, they start stealing for their family member, and the very same family member says that you are thief. So this is quite a peak of materialistic consciousness or materialistic person. Then it doesn't matter whatever you do for them, but ultimately they say they're gonna ask only one question: what did you do for me? And this is so painful. So that's why we need to work on level of consciousness. That's why Krishna consciousness, here we can see how much is relatable, how much is practical, how much is applicable, how much is potential and tangible. So I would like to give solution based on Bhagavad Gita. So we saw the problem is that people's consciousness is on different level. They work on different level. They don't know about spirituality because no one has told them. They are like, because of illusion, they are under different snares or different layers of Maya. So that's why they can't see the reality. That's where spirituality comes in the picture. And in Bhagavad Gita, it's a very nice transition that Prabhupada gives, that how materialistic person can change their life and can become a spiritualist person. So we'll see 12:10. Here's the reference. Here, Prabhupada says that, yeah, from this point to, yeah, here. One should be sympathetic to propagation of Krishna consciousness. There are many devotees who are engaged in propagation of Krishna consciousness, and they require help. So even if one cannot directly practice regulative principle of bhakti yoga, he can try to help such work. So here we can see like materialistic person, they sometimes comes with the excuse that I don't have time, I have so many duties. So that's why I can't do the spirituality. That's why I can't chant for 2 hours. That's why I can't go every day to the temple. So this is the solution for them to just upgrade their consciousness. How what they can do on the practical level. So Prabhupada says they need so much resources. So if they cannot come, they can provide the resources. So every endeavor requires land, capital, organization, or labor. Just as businessmen, one requires a place to stay, some capital to use, some labor, and some organization to expand. So the same is required in the service of Krishna. The only difference that in materialism, here, this is the bold line, this is the highlight here. Sorry. The only difference is that the materialism one works for sense gratification. Atmindriya priti vancha kare bhoga. So I'm not sure about like the particular verse, but this is the verse in CC that if we work for our senses, that is called sense gratification. But when we work for Krishna to satisfy his senses, that is called prema, that is called bhakti, that is called devotion. So this like a clear difference is given even in the CC. Here we can see. So this says the same work, however, can be performed for the satisfaction of Krishna, and that is spiritual activity. So this is the transition. Whatever you do, if even people have business, so they this is how they can transit. This is how they can make transition from their business. Don't do just spiritual business. People can do like don't do just material business. People can actually do the spiritual business. So this is how they can make transition, even if they don't have time, they don't have resources, or they don't have anything. But by engaging things in the Krishna service, they can really change their consciousness. They can really elevate it on spiritual platform. Here, I would like to give an example or story of Raghunath Das Goswami. As we know, like his father was like really popular, famous businessman in his time. So much wealth, so many things. And one day, what happened? Like Raghunath Das Goswami was like continuously running away from the family life, and his mother came to his father and said that, "Why don't you tie him? Just tie him. Then this is how he will stay here in our home." And father gives like really glorious answer. He said that if the bondage or shackle of the wife or like loving affection cannot tie him, what this iron chain can do for him. So this is how we can see the consciousness. It's like if one is like spiritually reached somewhere, so the consciousness wise, if they are already reached there, they're on the higher platform or on the final destination, then nothing can stop. No excuses, no false reasons, nothing can stop. But the problem with the people is they are not reached there yet. They haven't seen the destination. They haven't been there. So that's why they keep suffering with the same type of consciousness, with the same kind of mentality. And they keep suffering in this world. So here we can see Raghunath Das Goswami. His heart was already there with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in this case, her mother is just trying to convince like a baby and giving like impractical reason. But father gave is like really practical and scientific logical reason that if wife cannot bind him, what the shackle can do for him. So this is how people have to or need to upgrade or elevate their consciousness in terms of getting the real truth of this material world, and how actually they can come out of their situation, suffering situation, just by changing consciousness or and elevating their consciousness. Okay, next we'll talk about retirement. Yeah. So as we are discussing about consciousness, time, and similarly, we are up to the closing of our presentation, which is retirement. So this section, as I mentioned, like from verse number 1 to 18, this also talks about retirements or old age or senior citizens, you can say. So there are like major two problems. So based on this explanation given in the Bhagavatam, so I divided in two parts. So first one is external and second one is internal. So excuse me, external problems is like words are mentioned in the Bhagavatam, the veins what stuck with so many cough and mucus, the eyes bulge up, the eyes become like big because all the mass and all the blood, everything is gonna go away from the body. So this is like kind of an external sign. They can't speak properly. Their senses are not working. That is like so miserable situation. Can you imagine that? You are in your home and let's say you lose your hearing, you're deaf, and your whole family member is talking about. So sometimes you can just see. You can't hear, you can't respond because you don't know like what's happening with them. But this is just one sense. If you lose your hearing, if you lose our ear, then we can't hear what they're talking, and we just like keep speculating then. Because sometimes we see people are like they are like talking with each other with joyful mood, or sometimes they are like talking with skeptical. Sometimes it seems like they are making some conspiracy for me for living this world. So this is how if we lose just one sense, it gives so much trouble externally. And in our mind, we start suffering, and so much anxiety and so many things because we can't talk. And if we talk, even if we know what they're gonna talk about, if they're gonna talk about me or something else, and if we like jump in their talk, what they're gonna say? You are deaf. Just stay silent. You don't know what's going on between us. So this is like so painful things. So this is external reason and internal reason. So many diseases inside the body. Imagine if you are like about leaving body and if you have like cancer, stage 4 cancer. So I remember my grandfather has the same situation. He was in the I was around 16, 17. I was in plus one. So yeah, I remember I was 16, 17, and he has cancer. And the difficulty was he was not able to walk in the end of life. As I mentioned, like people start losing their senses. And because of the internal pain was so much that he can't even go for the toilet. So we have to hold up him, lift him, and then take, take to the toilet. So I was thinking while doing this, like, my God, this is like so much painful for him because his body is already old and he can't even communicate properly. He can't like explaining what's the situation going on in his body. So this is our internal situation is like completely broken. So these are like two main problems. One is internal and second one is external. Next one, no communication. As I mentioned before, that people cannot talk, people cannot speak. They maybe probably not have enough taste in them because all the taste buds goes away with the old age. So once we like start getting older and older, we start losing taste. Sometimes we can't taste. That's a weird thing. We can't even eat like prasadam. So better to do bhakti now when we are young, when we are all the senses are like beautifully given by Krishna, or like full energy, full power, intellectual, also quite robust. So we can use this things, our age in Krishna service. So no communication. And CC means Prabhupada mentioned the analogy of no analogy example of cannibalistic community. Uh, in other word, I searched about this word because I was not sure what is the cannibalistic community, and it come with the solution with the those who are agoris in India. Sometimes they eat their own flesh, sometimes they eat pig's flesh, and they eat everything because they say everything is Maya, everything is false. There is no life in it. So based on this, this is like cannibalistic community. Prabhupada mentioned about it that those people, Prabhupada mentioned particularly this word, they sportingly killed. Prabhupada used this word killed, not natural death. Sportingly they kill them and they have feast on their body and start eating their body. So this is something result of retirement. This is something the result of old age. Uh, this is Bhagavatam. So this is about cannibalistic community. And while dying, what happened? Like when he's dying, all the relatives come to see him, maybe with some flowers, maybe with some gifts, maybe with some sweet words. And this is everything is so cold. People genuinely within, unless they are spiritualist, unless they are like higher, advanced devotee of Krishna, they everything is just like show off, so superficial, so shallow. There is no life. So people showing their words, showing their affection. It looks like, oh my God, these people like are like they are so much caring. Why do they think so? because in their whole life, they have never seen or they have never tasted the actual love of Krishna, love of God. So that's why if someone shows little bit love to them and they start thinking, oh my God, these people are like, they are so much careful. Now I have to give my property. And then he start making wills and he start giving properties. He start ending or winding up his business. So this is the formality that people perform next to the dying person. Next, we will see what he says while leaving his body. He said, I'm going. And Prabhupada mentioned really beautifully in the purport that he doesn't even know where he's going. And he's saying, I'm going. So this is the height of hypocrisy. Also, we can say the sign of Kali Yuga. People don't know things and give statements. Next one, oh wow, Baldev Vidyabhushan mentioned really beautiful analogy of dying person. And we also see the example with the Bhagavatam. So dying person, there are like two types of person. It's in Bhagavad Gita. One kind of person is like a moth. So materialistic person compared with the moth, excuse me, they rush toward the death. They rush toward the fire. They rush toward the end of their life like a moth. Moth, what it doesn't know because it just sees the flame, the light, and just rush toward, thinking that this is some object, this is some food, this is gonna nourish me, but it doesn't know that this is like illusion, this is fire, this is gonna kill them. So materialistic person, they find happiness in the wrong object, wrong place, and wrong people. They think that this thing can give me happiness, but they don't know if they have not right consciousness, this very thing can be cause the bondage in this material world. Because of this person, because of this object, because of these places, you have to come again in this material world. So materialistic person dies like a moth, unknowingly or blindly rushed into the fire. Next analogy is given like a river. So river is compared the all those people who are like spiritualists, like Bhishma Dev, Arjuna. So this is like highly elevated spiritualist person compared to river. So what river does, wherever she flows, she nourishes all around the, say for example, trees, forest, cities. If you see the history, many big cities are always uh, on the bank of rivers. Say for example, let's say here, London. So in London, we have like famous river, Thames. So for example, where I come from, Surat. So Surat is also located on Tapi River, our Mother Yamuna, Ganga. So all this river are like providing so much water that is like essential part of people's lives. So they nourish them. So this is the nature of devotee. This is the nature of spiritualist. They live their life, even though they have to tapyate lokatapena, even though they have to suffer, even they have to go through the miseries. But what do? They give some good results. They give some good fruits. They give spirituality. They give Bhagavatam. They give Krishna to others and relish and try to change someone's life. Like Prabhupada, he was like above in his 70s, but still with the heart attacks, with so many things, without thinking of his rest. Recently, we just celebrated Prabhupada's disappearance day yesterday, and his disciple, it's like more than 10, 20 disciples was here, and they were like glorifying Prabhupada. And here we can see like how Prabhupada on his in his old age, not even thinking about his health, his bodily necessary, his requirement, he was just giving Krishna to others. So this is life of devotee. They live their life like a river. So this is what Baldev Vidyabhushan mentioned, the how materialistic people waste their life and how spiritualist people use their life uh, in terms of spreading Krishna conscious movement, Mahaprabhu's mission. Last one, what scripture says about old age. So scripture says that one should leave the home or all the attached family or conjugal attachment after age of 50. So as we say like 51 or Kya one in Hindi or in Gujarati Eka one. So all in this vocabulary we see one, one, one. So it shows that one means forest. So after this age, we should move to forest. We should start moving down to the different direction. We should give up our false attachment and try to find or try to find or figure out our genuine or our real attachment. So this is the scripture. about retirement. So next we'll see the whole life of materialistic, and this is last slide. As you can see. Uh, this is the overview. So I took this whole overview out of all 18 verses, plus some commentaries, just verses. So how from the birth up to the end of their life, they use or waste their life in false or superficial things in their life. So begins with the birth. So first they born, they take birth, and this it's interesting that when child is in womb of mother, he knows only Krishna. He doesn't know who is my he or she, doesn't know who is my sister, who is my brother, who is my uncle, who is doctor, who is nurse. He doesn't know anything. He just know Krishna in the womb. Based on scripture, we can say like how Parikshit Maharaj was saved in his mom's womb, mother's womb, and he just knows only Krishna. And as soon as he comes out of mother's womb, all the people start pressurizing. It's like a machine gun standing there and throwing Maya on it. They say, yeah, this is your uncle, this is your mother, this is your father, this is your this, that, and whole that cycle of illusion or cycle of wasting time, cycle of changing or training their consciousness in different way begin once they take birth. So everything begins with the birth. Next one, we can see like how people are, we saw how people are wasting time, and they start developing affection with others. So first they waste their time because they don't know what to do, what's the real purpose of life, what's the goal of life. And based on that, they think, if I give my love to others, if I give my affection to others, then these people or these objects maybe or can be are there to help me. But that's not reality. And they start wasting their time into wrong affection. And in order to come out of this affection, sometimes they make crime. So they do all types of criminal activities. Say, for example, we can see so many things are going on in relationships, uh, either before marriage or after marriage. So people start making crimes. Why do they make crime? Because they are attached to those things. Say, for example, someone is a householder. So if he is not spiritualist, if he is not highly advanced person or spiritually settled, then he's attached to his familial life. Like especially the words are mentioned in the Bhagavatam says that uh, they are attached to women and they enjoy their personal or what is the word? They solitude embracement. Yeah, this was the word. They enjoy the solitude uh, embrace of movement, and they are more caught by children's gullible words used, because we can see like how they are powerful to melt our heart, to melt our strong. Sometimes even vows, even if you take some vows, and when you hear your children, people are ready to give up, even give up their vows. Giving up vows means on Arya, those who are like not civilized. Arya are those who are like civilized. So nowadays people become more and more anarya. And this is how they continuously, we can see then blue guys is like trying to swim here in material ocean, though it's impossible. So this is how they counteract miseries. And next, counteracting miseries, then we can come to the 2 point. Either in that counteraction, they may get success. So that shows yes. And another case, or they got failure. That shows no. So yes says if he got success. So what he thinks, yeah, so I'm like now out of the problems. So this is success of my life. He doesn't know how fool he is that these very problems or other problems gonna come after some time for sure, definitely in his life. But this is how he's engaged. This is how his consciousness is not developed, is not like improved, or is not Krishna consciousness. So if he if he try to solve something, and if he's success, if he get the result, he said, oh, just see how much successful I am. So this is how he's in always in the miserable situation. Or we can use the word suffering this material ocean. And when he's not successful, so then what he does? He tries illegal means, maybe to earn money and to maintain his family. So this is life of materialistic person. And in order to doing this illegal means to maintain his family or illegal work, he lose his respect in their family or in the society, because no, because they know now this person is feeding us, or this person is doing maybe something good externally, so-called good in the society. But people can't respect, because people respect uh, your level of spirituality, or the love you hold in your heart for them, the concern. This is what people actually respect. People don't respect your external or superficial things that you achieve in your life. They may respect or they may acknowledge for some time, but it's not like for lifelong thing. So this is how, by doing illegal means, he loses respect. And after old age, why, by living this life, the family members start treating him like worn out oxes. So what farmer does with the oxes, he doesn't use it because he's not able to work. So similarly, the materialistic person is also not able to work. So farmer just take him out in the field and leave it there, and won't allow to come back in his home because he has to maintain them. Similarly, this is what happened. Like people these days are sending their parents to care care home or vridhashram, where they treat all the senior citizens like an animal. So there are some videos on YouTube. Maybe we can see, but I think we have don't have enough time. So yeah, there are some videos like how people are like treating old age people or senior citizen in the care home. They are sometimes like beating them, sometimes not giving even food, and even though they give like enough food or quality food, so quality is not there. Even if quality is there, they give some like poisonous or something there in their food. So these all things are going on in this material world. So that's why this place is called Dukhalema Shashvatam. And this is the life of materialistic person. And this is what they enjoy. And what happened after that? He said, please God, take me out of this place. I want to die. I don't want to live here. After going through the whole cycle, whole big cycle, we can see a born, time wasting, affection, whole up to the one out X. They want to die. Now he start remembering Lord. And he said, like, please Lord, take me out of this place. I don't want to stay here. This place is so miserable. So this is the reality. This is the life of materialistic person. And finally, eventually, he leaves his body and goes another again new cycle, because he's not spiritually advanced. He's like materially attached. So as scripture says, Prabhupada mentioned so many times that karma karma be, because of your action, because of your desire, you have to come back here in this world to finish your whole business. So that's why you take birth again, whole the Maya covers up, wasting time, and whole this cycle keeps going on and on and on. Materialistic person. So this is it, and this is life of materialistic person. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and please forgive me if I make any mistake. And seeking your blessings. And Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.